welcome to Normal to Formal Podcast, episode number 20. I'm your host, Tia Young. I'm the founder of Tia Young Image and Etiquette. I help my clients learn the soft skills for success through professional development and etiquette training. This podcast is for people that want to increase their social skills and earning potential and grow from normal to formal. These skills will help you get ahead of the competition. The topic for today's podcast is social media etiquette. I have really enjoyed social media, and one of my favorite avenues is Facebook. I also have an Instagram account, Twitter, and of course LinkedIn for business. So today I want to share a few of the do's and don'ts for social media etiquette, especially as a professional. It's very hard to separate business from pleasure, and there's a fine line of what you should post as a business professional, even though you have a separate page for business and personal. People can't distinguish the two. If they see you socially on social media, on Facebook or Instagram, doing inappropriate things or sharing inappropriate things, posting inappropriate things, it's going to cross that line to your professional world also. One of the things that most parents do, especially moms, we're going to brag on our children. And I'm guilty of that as well. I have 3 awesome daughters, and of course, I want to post about them. Also, my husband, my family, and my golden doodle doggies. So I do tend to overshare at times, but I am aware of trying not to do it so much. We do have a graduating senior, so I've been posting quite a bit on her graduation and getting accepted with a scholarship to Ringling College of Art and Design this fall, and she should be attending within a few weeks actually. So we're very excited about that. Also, some accolades that I've received in my etiquette business. I was just named the National Certification Director for the National Association of Urban Etiquette Professionals. So I posted that recently on Facebook and also on Instagram. So we do want to share those things that we're very, very proud of. We just don't want to overshare. Also, being self-centered. I do love to see a great picture of myself, and I want to share it with the world. When I have that perfect makeup and hair and nails and that perfect pose and outfit, of course I want to share that. But I do have to keep in mind that it's not all about me all the time. I do love when someone else posts something about me, or even me posting something nice about someone else or their business. So keep in mind, you want to share more about others, and then you want to share about yourself. Some of the things that we want to be careful of sharing on social media. When you go out to have a cocktail, try not to take a picture and post it with that cocktail in your hand. And I like to think of, I call it the red Solo cup. When you take a picture holding a red Solo cup, people that see that picture or post automatically wonder what you're drinking. It can be orange juice, it can be water, but they're going to assume that it's alcohol. So my advice, if you're drinking, put the drink down to take the picture. Now, if it's a toast at a wedding or some kind of event, you can show that champagne glass as you're toasting and holding it up for cheers, but otherwise, put any wine or alcohol down before you actually take that picture. Another thing you want to be aware of is public displays of affection, or PDA. We don't want to be overly romantic on social media with our spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend. One thing that I see of ladies that kind of is a pet peeve of mine, the things that I don't like, is when a woman is posting a swimsuit photo. no matter how great she looks in it, if she's a professional, unless she's selling swimsuits in her own swimsuit line, but I prefer not to see women or men in swimsuits on pictures. Now, if they have on a skirt or shorts or something like that, that's different. But to show a mature woman that's a business professional in a swimsuit is just not professional to me. To me, no matter how wonderful she may look in it. Also, one thing that bothers me, it's a pet peeve, is when I'm tagged with 100 other people in a post that I did not agree to be tagged in. Most times I just kind of ignore it and or untag myself, but I don't like being tagged with 100 other people, because then when those replies come in, of course I see every single one when that post isn't about me, for me, or anything else. It's just promoting them and their particular business. And any kind of picture that I'm in that's not flattering, now the person taking the picture that's also in the picture, they might look great in the picture, but if everybody doesn't look great in the picture, then you don't want to post that picture or don't tag that person in the picture. Because if I'm not looking my absolute best, of course, and that's not realistic, but if I'm going to post it, I want to make sure I look presentable. Especially for those that are looking to be promoted or interviewing for a new position, that company is going to do their due diligence and they're going to do their background checks. And one of the first places that they will look is social media: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the best one for them to look, but they're going to look at every other place also to see how you represent yourself outside of work, how you represent yourself outside of what your resume says on paper. They want to see the real you before you even come in for an interview, and that can determine if they actually want to interview you at all, because they might think from what you post and what you share that you have a bad sense of judgment. So anything political, are you arguing your point on social media? Are you angry at a friend or an ex that you're arguing back and forth about who's wrong and who's right and how awful they were? Keep those things off of social media. It does not look good. Also, you don't want to post when you do have that red Solo cup and you drink too much. If you drink too much and get a little tipsy, you might post things you don't realize you're posting until you wake up the next morning and then have to delete those awful things you might have said or awful pictures or inappropriate pictures that you posted. I receive a lot of friend requests, and I always want to know who the person really is. And one way of doing that is to click on their profile to see what they've posted recently. First of all, if they don't have a profile picture, that's a red flag for me. It might be an account that's been hacked and someone's trying to use their name, so I don't friend those people. So if you're going to be on social media, add a picture of yourself as a profile picture. But if the things they've been sharing recently are inappropriate, even if it's not their information, but they're sharing someone else's information, if it's controversial or inappropriate, I won't friend that person as well. So being careful what you say, what you like, what you share are all very important. If you argue with someone else, those things and those people are the ones that I do not care to be associated with socially, because that's my credibility on the line also. So what do you share? We know no one's perfect, of course, but you want to share those fun times. Hopefully when vacations do come back, you're able to share those wonderful trips. I'm a former international flight attendant and I've flown all around the world. And some of the things I would like to post are the great adventures during those trips, and the restaurants and the food, the beautiful water, because I love warm weathered trips, tropical, beautiful, the islands. So I like to post those kind of things. Also, you want to post awards, any kind of awards you've received. You want to post your family, but not overshare. You want to post your pets. You want to post accomplishments of others also and share those posts. Less of you and more of others. Give more than you want back. And then people will start doing the same for you. Think of a few people that you want to make their day by doing something nice. And that can be a nice post sharing who they are or their business. Maybe you've used their service recently or purchased a product of theirs and you want to share that on Facebook. One of the things that I want to end with is you often see challenges on Facebook or Instagram. And one of the ones that has been out recently, you'll see the hashtag challengeaccepted. And you'll see beautiful black and white pictures of ladies sharing how women support each other. But I recently found out that that particular black and white photo challenge or hashtag challenge accepted was a movement that was most recently a movement in Turkey. The black and white photo challenge and hashtag challenge acceptance movement. Most of these women were killed due to domestic violence in that area. But it has been changed since it's come to the Western world or to the United States to something of support for others. But a lot of people don't realize that challenge, where it actually came from and the actual meaning of it. It hit home for me a little bit more because in my early 20s, I was a domestic violence survivor. So I did not feel comfortable, even though I was asked a few times to share my black and white photo for that hashtag challenge accepted. So I did explain to one of the friends of mine that sent me the challenge to post my black and white picture. And I actually started looking for a nice black and white picture of myself, but then realized that the challenge is for women that had been murdered. And it was just other women supporting them, knowing they didn't want that to continue to happen. And they wanted the government to make a change in policies there in Turkey. It initially started in 2016 for cancer, and black and white pictures were used. It was a terrible issue called femicide. The black and white challenge appears to have started in 2016 to raise awareness of cancer, but it was repurposed along with appeals for women to tag others who inspire or support them in hashtags such as challenge accepted. And it quickly took off in Turkey and then now in the United States. But it has changed to supporting women, but most women don't realize what it actually means and where it comes from. So I'm a big supporter of those that want to help women get out of situations that can potentially harm them or even kill them. So just a few tips on social media, the do's and the don'ts of what you post. And keep in mind, if there is a challenge, make sure you understand fully what that challenge means before taking part in it. But we want to stay as positive as possible on social media, support each other, and make it fun. Thank you so much for listening to the Normal to Formal podcast today. I hope that you've learned some valuable tools on social media etiquette. Please join me next Monday for another episode on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker.com, and many other podcast platforms. Please subscribe, comment, and share. Follow me at Mrs. Tia Young on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and Mrs. Manners on LinkedIn. I can also be reached on my website, tiayoungimage.com. Thank you and see you next time. Bye-bye.